Hey everybody, and welcome to Lex's World. Today I figured we'd take a little bit of a break from the growing tutorials and that kind of thing and talk a little bit about cannabis allergies and cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. As a cannabis blogger, I email back and forth with people all the time, and people leave comments all the time, and these are all folks who are really experienced cannabis consumers, and as a result I've had a totally unintentional but a terrific eye in the sky for both cannabis allergies and cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, the latter of which is surprisingly common amongst heavy cannabis users but was virtually unknown as little as 15 years ago. And yet the latter can also be a very serious problem, and it warrants serious discussion to ensure that it doesn't get out of hand. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of education about it out there, so let's talk about both. First, let's talk about the slightly lighter topic of cannabis allergies. Just like with any other allergy, anybody who has a predisposition to allergies to herbs can develop an allergy to cannabis. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where, like with every other allergy, it doesn't necessarily have to be a lifelong thing that you've always had. You can develop an allergy. So there are some people who consume cannabis for years, they don't experience any problems, and then suddenly one day they're finding that they're having an allergic reaction. By an allergic reaction, here's what I mean. Typically, it's dermatitis-like symptoms that occur from either touching buds or even touching just the fan leaves of a cannabis plant. People having a cannabis allergy might experience in their skin where they've touched cannabis, redness, itching, inflammation, that kind of stuff. In very rare cases, a cannabis allergy can actually mean an anaphylactic type of serious reaction when you either touch it or are exposed to it by inhalation. Puffiness, runny nose, runny eyes, watery eyes rather, and all sorts of other unpleasant symptoms. Again, typically people who already experience large amounts of spring-type allergies to herbs and other dandelions are prone to this type of thing. The unfortunate thing is that if you have a cannabis allergy or develop it, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You just sort of have to avoid cannabis and cut out your own use of it. The only silver lining I can provide to you if you do have a cannabis allergy is that most allergies do not last a lifetime. They actually rotate in and out. So just because you're allergic to cannabis today doesn't mean you're going to be allergic to it 10 years from now. So it may not be a permanent thing. So there you go. Now on to cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, also known as CHS, but for the purposes of this video we'll just say CH. About 2 years ago, I did an episode regarding experiencing multiple bad cannabis trips. An episode that I don't feel got as much play as it should have. But in it, I touched on CH as a possible cause of multiple bad cannabis trips. Based on the feedback I've received since then, and some extra research I've done on the subject, I now believe that it is the leading cause by far of multiple bad trips, especially amongst heavy cannabis users, the kind of users who watch this show and the kind of users who might use cannabis more than 20 times a month. First off, why does CH even happen? Well, when you consume THC, some portion of it, and some portion of all the other cannabinoids in cannabis, is actually stored in your fat cells. And it takes your body quite a long time to fully process the THC out of your fat cells. It actually takes something to the tune of a month, depending on your metabolism. Anyway, if you smoke cannabis multiple times a day or daily for a prolonged period, sometimes it takes years for this to happen, you could begin experiencing negative symptoms of basically THC buildup in your body and in your fat cells. Not everybody even experiences symptoms of CH. I know there's ultra heavy users that smoke multiple times a day for years on end and never have it happen to them. Other people, it doesn't happen for years on end and then it kind of starts to kick in, whereas for some other users, within a matter of months of heavy cannabis consumption, they start having effects of CH whether they realize it or not. We're not exactly sure for the reason for this disparity in how long it takes and why are some people not affected, because in all honesty, we're still studying this condition and it was only identified as recently as 2004 as a distinct thing. In the video description, I will link to all the stuff that we know about CH and how it expresses itself, because it's really worth knowing. But the gist of it is you're going to start having increasingly unpleasant side effects from smaller and smaller and smaller quantities of cannabis, quantities that you had no trouble handling before. The most common symptom is that you'll simply start getting very unusually high. And it's not a pleasant high, it's kind of a nauseous one. The next most common symptom is constant nausea while high, vomiting or the desire to vomit, abdominal pain in your sides that you're going to wonder whether or not that's actually kidney pain. You might also find that you're shivering and your teeth are chattering and you're having some trouble maintaining your body temperature. And in what sounds like a bizarre and obscure thing, but is actually very common, you will find that showers and hot baths basically relieve virtually all the symptoms of CH, unless you're really far along, in which case even showers and hot baths don't go all the way towards fixing how sick you feel. The dangerous part of CH is for people who have a heart condition or are already predisposed to other cardiovascular type of problems. If you're within that group of people, CH can eventually result in heart attack-like symptoms, numbness in your left arm, in the left part of your body, and you'll actually experience sort of an angina or a mini heart attack. And even after it happens, there's a serious chance that nobody's going to be able to figure out, after you've had basically a heart attack, that heavy cannabis consumption had anything to do with any of this. That's where CH stops being sort of an irritating problem like cannabis allergies and actually becomes a serious type of condition that you gotta recognize. To treat CH, there's really only one way. You have to take a prolonged break from cannabis and let the THC levels that have built up in your body slowly work their way through your system, through your kidneys, and have the THC levels return to normal. In the link I included in the description, they seem to state that abstinence for 7 to 10 days clears the system. I strongly disagree with that conclusion. Based on my own observations and dealing with people who've had CH, I actually think about 3 to 4 weeks of abstinence are required, and with people who have a slower metabolism and more fat, it might be something more like 4 to 6 weeks, so just bear that in mind. A lot of people are wondering how prevalent CH is, how many people actually experience cannabinoid hyperemesis. Well, again, the research I linked to indicates that of people who smoke cannabis 20 times a month or more, about a third of them could experience symptoms of CH. Based on my anecdotal observations, I think that that's actually completely bang on. I can also comment that it's probably the rising THC percentages of developing strains and the rise in popularity of high THC concentration products like shatter or wax or oil that have greatly increased the frequency of cannabinoid hyperemesis happening to people over the last 20 years. It actually makes perfect sense that in the 90s it was probably a lot rarer and we didn't really know what it was. So there you go. If you're experiencing CH, please take the necessary abstinence steps to fix it, because I don't want any of you guys to have an angina or, heaven forbid, an actual heart attack. Now, normally I end my videos with a simple, hey, subscribe, hit that like button if you found this useful. But today I'm going to ask you guys for something a little bit different. I hope that you share this video. The most interesting thing by far that I've noticed about CH is when I talk about it, even to experienced people in the cannabis industry, there is a good number of folks who have no idea what it is, they have never heard of it, but once you start describing it to them, they go, oh my God, I totally know one or two people who've had this, or I'm having this myself. In my opinion, there's really no better way to spread this type of information than within the community on the type of shows that heavy users of cannabis might watch. So here's hoping we achieve that. On that note, guys, we'll see you all next time on Lex's World.